Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, millions of dollars in luxury vehicles stolen in Oakville. Police looking for at least 8 suspects. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan has the surveillance video.
And the largest heist in Canadian history. Remember that $20 million gold theft at Pearson Airport? Police have arrested another suspect, but others still at large.
And the GTA is responding to the unrest in Iran. People here afraid for their loved ones in the Middle East.
This is Live at 5.
Good evening. I'm Bakari Savage.
And I'm Phil Perkins. Thanks for watching Live at 5. Our top story. We go to Halton Region. Police are searching for at least 8 suspects after millions of dollars worth of luxury vehicles were stolen from an Oakville dealership overnight.
Let's go live to CP24's crime analyst, Steve Ryan. Steve, you're at the dealership tonight. You've been there all day. You were speaking to some of the employees earlier. One of them, I mean, this guy was pretty emotional, and he was pretty candid.
Yeah, guys, you're absolutely. It's a great observation, Bakari. So Lockwood Leasing is the location of this company, Dorval and South Service Road in Oakville. And to go back to what you were talking about, Bakari, that is a typical reaction for somebody who has had their private space invaded. You know, whether that's your home or that's your office. Can you imagine? These people here left on Friday. They had these beautiful cars in the showroom. Your offices were all locked up. And then come Monday morning, your offices are turned upside down, and the 8 cars that were on the display floor are now gone. You're looking at a B-roll right now of this location. So these suspects, at least 8 of them, got through one of the glass doors at 3:30 on Sunday morning. And you can see through the surveillance video that we've obtained, these suspects file in a line, one at a time. They crawl into, you can see them now coming one at a time through the smashed glass. And once they're inside, there's suspect number 1, and then you see number 2 and number 3, and there's 8 of them in total. Once they get inside, they find where the keys are stored, and then they start all 8 vehicles and they drive out a back door. Now, what they also do in the meantime, because they're in such a panic to get out, they smash some of the interior walls and some of the desks inside in such a rush to get out, but nonetheless, they got out with 8 of those cars worth $2 million, and now the police are trying to recover 5 of those vehicles. 3 of them have been recovered, and police are still looking for the outstanding 5. Here's more from Halton Police and from the manager who I spoke with earlier on this afternoon. Let's listen.
We've recovered 3 of the vehicles in the Greater Toronto area. So we believe, obviously, that they, based on that, they may have gone east. Of course, we still have some outstanding vehicles, so we're not quite sure yet if they all went that direction. But our investigators are currently looking into that as well.
For as much as I know, there could be orders put in on them. They could be already requested from individuals all over the world. They could also be used for parts, that sort of thing. They can be. We've had vehicles that were noted that they were sold on whatever this black web is for a ridiculous price. There's a whole barrage of things that parts export, revinning them, that sort of thing. Yeah.
You heard the officer talk about heading east. That's the Port of Montreal. Oftentimes these high-end vehicles, that's where they go, is to the Port of Montreal, and then they are sold overseas. Oftentimes, guys, these cars are bought ahead of time, and they're actually purchased to order. And then these crooks go around looking for the vehicles that have been purchased, and you get what you got today. And you're looking at the showroom right now. It's absolutely empty. 8 beautiful cars that were in there Friday night, Sunday morning, 3:30, all gone. Back to you guys.
Something right out of Hollywood. Steve Ryan, thanks so much. Appreciate that. Well, let's talk about an even bigger heist. Another arrest has been made in the $20 million gold heist at Pearson Airport.
Yeah, police say that 43-year-old Arsalan Chaudhry has been taken into custody as of today, this as he got off of a plane from Dubai. He's facing 4 charges, including theft over $5,000.
The gold heist in April of 2023 is considered the largest in Canadian history. About 400 kilograms of gold, that's equivalent to 6,600 bars, was taken, along with $2.5 million in cash. At last update from police, less than $100,000 worth of gold has been recovered. Charges have been laid against 10 people in the case, and 2 suspects are outstanding. 33-year-old Simran Preet Panasar is a former Air Canada employee. He is believed to be living in India and is wanted on theft and conspiracy charges. 36-year-old Prasath Paramalignum is also wanted for failing to appear in court. Anyone with information being asked to come forward.
All right, it's 5:05. Let's get a check on the commute with CP24's traffic specialist, Adra and Tia Blah.
Thank you so much, Bakari. And watching an ongoing situation that is impacting the drive. It's a collision on the 401 westbound. This is just as you make your way past the Allen and the Collectors. 2 right lanes still out following this ongoing collision. Again, the delays are still there from Dixie, but slowly starting to improve. Don Valley Parkway still pretty slow from north of Bayview Bloor up to the 401, so slowly starting to thin out. And if you're on the Gardner, looking at delays as you head into and out of the downtown core. A heads up if you're headed towards Burlington, Plains Road closed between Maple and Brant. That is for a tow truck which got wedged underneath the bridge, so the cleanup is underway. I'm going to send it over to Samantha at TTC Control Center for an update on what's going on the TTC. Heard there's issues on TTC Line 2?
Thanks, Ajwa. So we did have an earlier delay along Line 2 at Victoria Park Station, but it has been cleared, so it's smooth sailing on all of our subway lines. Now looking at service above ground, the 512 St. Clair streetcars are being replaced by buses between St. Clair Station all the way to the Guns Loop during water main break repairs. Now, if you are at St. Clair West Station, make sure to wait just outside of the station at the curbside stop. Buses will be servicing that stop. Now, for more live transit updates, visit ttc.ca or follow TTC notices on X. To you.
Well, data from the city shows that last year, Toronto saw the fewest traffic fatalities since the launch of the Vision Zero road safety campaign.
Yeah, for a closer look at these numbers, let's bring in CP24's Melissa Duggan. Melissa.
Hey there, Phil. Hey, Bakari. So the goal of Vision Zero is to eliminate all traffic fatalities. And what we're looking at here is kind of a 10-year program kicking off in 2016. At the time, there was a 10-year high of 78 road fatalities. That involves people in vehicles, cyclists, pedestrians, motorcyclists. Well, compare that to the numbers we're now getting for 2025. The number of fatalities, half of that. 39 fatalities. It is certainly tragic to know that 39 people lost their lives on city streets. But what we're seeing here is a positive trend, improvements that have been made over this time. We were talking to the manager of the City of Toronto's Vision Zero project today. And I was asking her, is there one specific thing that you could point to as to why these numbers are dropping? She says there's no silver bullet. Instead, it just really comprises a variety of different policies and programs, different tweaks to what we're seeing out there in the city, adding things like bike lanes, having crossing guards, red light cameras, those sorts of things. It all adds up to an improvement. What else can be done? Here's what she has to say.
I would say continuing to expand on our range of initiatives and countermeasures, working with all levels of government to continue that investment and investigating new tools, looking around at what other Vision Zero cities are doing and expanding there as well.
So it's really important that no matter what measure is being used, that we remember that the key to this is safety. It is there to protect lives. 39 fatalities on our roads. It's easy to look at that as a number, but these are coworkers, neighbors, friends, family. Those are lives that were impacted because of choices that were made on the road. And while that is, we are heading in the right direction, there is still a long way to go before we reach zero.
That's the CAA weighing in there. Of the 39 fatalities that we recorded in 2025 in the city, 19 of them were pedestrians. And something else to note, one of the safety tools that has been pointed to are speed cameras. Of course, we know that they no longer are in place across the province of Ontario. So something to look forward to in 2026, something to keep an eye on is whether the removal of those will impact numbers in any case. Certainly something we'll be keeping an eye on. Back to you, Phil and Bakari.
Okay. CP24's Melissa Duggan reporting live from the 401 studio. A new survey finds that most Canadians have been targeted by fraudsters.
I think I was like 5 times this morning. It's true. More than 4 in 5 Canadians tell Angus Reid that they've received an online or phone scam in the last 2 years. 30% of them lost data or money as a result. Canadians lost more than $638 million in reported frauds in 2024. The real number is believed to be much higher, as only 5 to 10% of cases are reported to police. Those 60 years of age and older are nearly twice as likely as 18 to 29-year-olds to report being victims of a scam or fraud over the past 2 years.
Well, the Angus Reid survey, it also finds that 3 in 5, or 62% of Canadians believe that over the last 5 years, crime has been rising in their local communities. Here in Ontario, that figure is higher at 64%. Just 5% in Ontario believe crime has decreased in their community. 31% don't feel their neighborhood is a safe place to walk alone after dark.
It's 5:10. Feels like -6. You're watching Live at 5.
The Daily Bread Food Bank is alleging misuse of funds by Feed Scarborough. Those details are coming up next. The Daily Bread Food Bank is cutting off funding to Feed Scarborough. This is due to what it's calling, quote, serious allegations involving the organization's CEO.
Let's bring in CP24's Beatrice Vaisman to break this down for us. Beatrice, this is massive.
Yeah, it is. It's some pretty serious allegations, Phil and Bakari. The relationship between these two organizations, it's coming to an end at the end of this month as of January 31st. And here's why. The Daily Bread Food Bank is alleging about $150,000 of misappropriated funds by Feed Scarborough CEO Suman Roy. The man you see on your screen right there, it's accusing him of engaging in fraud over the course of several years, and Toronto police are now investigating this matter as well. Documents that were actually submitted to police from sources with knowledge of this investigation and reviewed by CP24 note that Feed Scarborough is one of Daily Bread Food Bank's largest member agency food banks. In fact, it receives millions of dollars worth of food from Daily Bread every year. And in addition to that food, the documents say Feed Scarborough was also given grants worth about $620,000 between 2021 and 2023 to be used on operations and capacity projects. The problem is that Daily Bread's alleging that it received multiple vendor invoices from Feed Scarborough with financial irregularities, and adds that Roy reimbursed himself for over $110,000 in expense claims for things like gift cards and rent, with checks that he signed as payable to himself. So here's a bit of what we heard from the Daily Bread Food Bank CEO, Neil Hetherington.
When Daily Bread saw something, we said something, and so it's incredibly disappointing. What we saw were financial irregularities that we needed to draw attention to. We've done that through Toronto Police, and we've done that through the Public Guardian Trust. My hope, though, however, and our sincere commitment to South Scarborough is that no matter the outcome of their investigation, we have a firm commitment to the people of South Scarborough. And that commitment is that food bank usage will not be disrupted because of the actions of one individual.
And Toronto police have confirmed to CP24 that its financial crimes unit began investigating these allegations back in November. As for Roy, I mean, we've spoken to him as well. He tells CP24 that he's aware of the allegations against him. He says that no Daily Bread charitable funds were used for non-charitable purposes. And he says he hasn't heard from Toronto police at this point yet. In fact, he says he voluntarily contacted investigators, saying he will fully cooperate with the police probe. Here's more from the CEO of Feed Scarborough.
We did not, in the beginning, till even last year, we did not have a credit card. We didn't have credit. We didn't have anything. So yes, I was putting a lot of our expenses on my credit card to be able to, and then reimbursing. Since I was the board chair at that time and the only signing authority in the bank, it was me who was doing it in the early days. Towards later on, when we got a little more organized, we have a second signatory in our account. All my personal expenses that was made for Feed Scarborough, it's always approved by the chair and the treasurer.
So you heard there Neil Hetherington, the Daily Bread CEO, saying that Feed Scarborough will no longer be a member of its network as of January 31st. He is, though, assuring community members who rely on the food bank and its services that there is a contingency plan in place. There's a partnership, or an extended partnership, with So-So Ministries to make sure that food access in that part of the city in South Scarborough isn't interrupted for the many, many families and people who rely on it. Bakari and Phil.
Okay, CP24's Beatrice Vaisman joining us live from the newsroom. Well, new numbers show that Ontarians are bracing for mounting financial challenges in 2026.
According to the latest M&P Consumer Debt Index, 72% of people in this province are expecting the cost of living to go up. The pessimism doesn't stop there. More than half anticipate a weak job market this year. Nearly 60% expect the economy will worsen and housing affordability will deteriorate.
as much as 72% of the respondents indicated that they feel that the cost of living is likely to worsen going forward, and that 58% that overall feel that the economy will worsen over time as well. Housing affordability will deteriorate, and just more pressure from rising inflation and even possibly rising interest rates, even though we've seen the Bank of Canada maintain the current rate for quite some time now. As well, of course, people are concerned about the relationship with the U.S. and the potential fallout from that. So that's another factor as well. And other things, that things like transportation costs might go up, and just even healthcare costs. People worry about that as well.
About 2/3 of people say that they're taking proactive steps like adjusting their budgets and speaking to professionals.
Well, a survey from the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health shows the number of Ontarians reporting harmful drinking behaviors and poor mental health remain elevated after the pandemic.
It found about 12% of those polled reported symptoms of alcohol dependence last year. That's down from almost 14% in 2020, but well above the roughly 7% seen in 2019. Binge drinking levels were stable compared to pandemic levels as well. Data also shows the percentage of adults who reported being in frequent mental distress climbed from nearly 17% in 2020 to almost 19% in 2025.
I think generally, coming out of the pandemic, we are seeing a heightened anxiety awareness in society writ large. I mean, we've all seen it when we go to our local coffee shop and we have individuals who maybe aren't as kind as they could be to those servers and providers. So we know that there is a heightened need and awareness to make sure that people with anxiety, with addictions, have those services available, and we're doing that in a number of different ways through the Ministry of Health, through the Ministry of Education, multiple pathways so that people can get help when they need it.
And despite increased accessibility, self-reported cannabis use in 2025, it remained comparable to 2020 levels.
It is 5:18 right now. It feels like -6. You're watching Live at 5.
Internet and telephone networks have been shut down in Iran. We're going to have reaction from Toronto's Iranian community coming up. U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran wants to negotiate with Washington after his threat to strike the Islamic Republic over its crackdown on protesters.
Yeah, Iran had no direct reaction to Trump's comments. Activists say the demonstrations, which were sparked by soaring inflation, have turned into a broader anti-government movement and have left 599 people dead. Iran's foreign minister told foreign diplomats in Tehran that the situation has come under total control. He also blamed Israel and the U.S. for the violence.
And members of the GTA's Iranian community are worried about their family in Iran.
CP24's Arda Zakarian has spent the day talking to them and joins us live with a reaction from Toronto's Iranian community. I know the plaza you're in right now, and people are very passionate. They're knowledgeable of the deep history. And yeah, as Bakari mentioned, they are scared out of their wits because they have no idea what's happening on the ground because there's no electricity, there's no internet, nothing.
That's exactly it. And they're scared to talk to me on camera as well. That's an added layer to all of this because they don't know what the repercussions are with their homeland, their home country of Iran. Maybe if they go back there, they won't be allowed in. They'll be detained, imprisoned in some way, or their family might be in danger. They just don't know what the repercussions would be. And it could be a number of things that could happen. And they just do not want to take the risk. But there are a few people who said this is very important. I need to speak up because the people in Iran, they've lost their voice essentially because we can't hear them anymore. There's no internet, there's no communication, there's no telephone lines that are going in and out. And it's been like this for the last 5 days. So you can imagine the difficulty it must be for people that have family there. They just want to know if their family is okay. And they can't because everything is cut off right now. Here's more from some of them that I spoke with.
We don't want anything special. We want just our freedom to have like everyone, whatever just you're enjoying here. It's just a simple, like basic human right. It's not just a matter of just the money, inflation and everything. No, what you're going to do about the things. Money, just okay, you cannot eat, you can avoid something. But what you're going to do when someone is just deciding what you're wearing, how you're wearing it, how you are going to go, what you are doing, what is your religion, what is that? So what you're going to do with those? And already just my in-laws are at home, and we have not heard them like for the past 5 days. It's absolutely impossible just to get contact. We don't know exactly what is going on.
And they have no idea when it's going to be, everything is going to be over and how things are going to end. That's also the thing that's in the air, the thing that's causing people anxiety and stress, just not knowing. And so the people that I've been speaking to here at the Yonge and Finch Plaza, this is the Iranian Plaza, they've been saying to me that their hearts and their minds are there every minute. And they've been coming here, going about their day, doing their errands, but also picking up something. A lot of people have been picking up Iranian flags and putting them on their car in a show of solidarity for the people that are protesting in Iran right now. We saw so many Iranian Canadians come out as well to Lastman Square and Nathan Phillips Square over the weekend, showing their solidarity with the people of Iran. Back to you.
Okay, reporting live, CP24's Artis Zakarian. And with that, it is now 5:24, holding at 0. This is Live at 5.
Coming up, we'll explain why the city of Hamilton is feeling the love from fans of heated rivalry.
Well, Hamilton's feeling the love from fans of the hit Crave series, Heated Rivalry. This is where a lot of the popular show was filmed.
The Hamilton, popular spot to film stuff. Eagle-eyed fans of the hockey romance probably noticed spots like Hamilton's Pink Tunnel, Dundurn Castle. It's one of the tourist attractions there. Multiple local restaurants featured in the show. CP24's Gian Lee went on a special tour of some of the Hamilton locations.
It's been really exciting to see everything that's happened with Heated Rivalry and how Le Tambor has just been able to be a part of that. It's been great to see just like a lot of people coming in for the show, but staying for, to enjoy the restaurant and everything that we have to offer, seasonal produce, open flame cooking, all of that. And so it's been great, a great opportunity.
As a bar on Barton Street slowly being revitalized. Tourism in Hamilton has posted a list of all the filming locations from the series that you can visit. Fans can find it out at tourismhamilton.com.
Right now it is 5:28, holding at 0. This is Live at 5.
Another arrest has been made in the $20 million gold heist at Pearson Airport. We'll talk to Peel Police. Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, millions of dollars in luxury vehicles stolen in Oakville. Police looking for at least 8 suspects. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan has a surveillance video.
And the largest heist in Canadian history. Remember that $20 million gold theft at Pearson Airport? Police have arrested another suspect. Others are still at large. We're going to speak to Peel Police live in 2 minutes.
And the GTA is responding to the unrest in Iran. People here afraid for their loved ones in the Middle East.
This is Live at 5.
Good evening. I'm Phil Perkins.
I'm Bakari Savage. Welcome to Live at 5. Another arrest has been made in the $20 million gold heist at Pearson Airport.
Now we're joined live by Mike Mavity with Peel Regional Police. Thanks for joining us here live on CP24. I know you don't want to give away all the secrets, but how did you nab this latest suspect?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us on. Our latest suspect, actually with the assistance of his lawyer, he contacted our Crown attorney back in December and indicated that he was going to be flying into Pearson Airport on today's date. So that was arranged through his counsel, so we were able to prepare and then arrest him shortly before 9 a.m. when he landed this morning on a flight from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates.
Okay, so this guy was in Dubai. There's some other suspects outstanding. They're not in Canada right now either.
That's right. We have Simran Preet Panizar, who is one of the outstanding individuals who was actually a former Air Canada employee. Simran Preet Panizar is we believe, in India, hiding out there. We actually have an extradition order that we swore to and was served on the Indian government late last year, requesting his extradition. We're still waiting for that. And we also have Prasath Paramalingam, who was arrested in 2024 and failed to appear at his first bail hearing, at his first court date, and he subsequently has fled. We're not entirely sure where he is, but we're also looking for him as well.
How do you keep people from fleeing? Because clearly, allegedly, these individuals stole $20 million worth of gold. One was a former Air Canada employee. How do you trust someone that they would show up to their bail hearing and not just escape and flee the country?
You know, unfortunately, we have to respect the court process, and each of these individuals can be released based on the charges that they're facing. They are promising to appear on these dates, and they are expected to appear on these court dates as part of the release formats. Unfortunately, when they don't, it makes it obviously extremely difficult for us. We try to sometimes seize their passports to prevent travel, but anytime you're dealing with different people, they may have different methods helping them kind of evade our detection and or arrest.
Okay, so how much of this money or this gold have already been returned? I mean, there's still a lot that's out there, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot that's out there. We haven't been able to find it all. We have a very small amount, I believe around 1 kilogram, and we have some currency that we believe is profits from that. But ultimately, an incredibly large quantity of gold is still outstanding. Unfortunately, with gold, as we discussed before, it could be melted down to change shape, to be made into jewelry, to bars, and to be shipped to overseas markets such as Dubai and India, where we believe it's much easier to get rid of pure gold and sell it for profit.
And so, what kind of sentences potentially are these people facing if convicted?
It varies depending on their role. I know our Crown Attorney has put out different sentences for pleas in the area of 5 to 10 years. Again, it all depends on what is in the criminal code and what it says that the sentence should be for the theft. Unfortunately, it's a theft of over $5,000. In this case, it's $20 million, which is way above $5,000, but that is the threshold that we have to deal with in Canada under the criminal code.
Okay, Inspector Mike Mavety with Peel Regional Police providing an update on Canada's largest heist happening at Pearson Airport. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Halton Police looking for at least 8 suspects. This is after millions of dollars worth of luxury vehicles were stolen from an Oakville dealership. This happened right around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, let's go live to CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan, who is at the dealership. And with the latest in this investigation, this was, again, kind of like the one at Pearson Airport, a team effort.
Yeah, team effort, and obviously this was pre-planned. You didn't just stumble across this location and decide to steal $2 million worth of cars. They came to this location, most likely because you could see the 8 cars through the windows, and it's sort of isolated here on South Service Road in Oakville. But nonetheless, payment is not an option. You should typically pay for your cars, but clearly that's not what this group of 8 did. So what we know, according to Halton Police, was at 3:30 in the morning, the dealership was broken into. The suspects, we did get video surveillance, by the way. We're going to show that to you. The suspects broke in through the glass doors. Here's the video surveillance right now. You can see them coming in one at a time. There's number 1, number 2. They all come in through the same hole in the glass. And once all 8 of them get inside, they choose a car each. 8 beautiful sports cars, luxury cars worth $2 million. One of those being a Ferrari. And they ransacked the place, found the keys, and then went out through the bay door, which is on the east side of this building, and never to be seen again. So now Halton Police are looking for these at least 8 suspects. We are told that they did recover 3 of these luxury cars, and they are still looking for 5 more. Now, we did hear from Halton Police earlier on, and I spoke with one of the sales guys here at the dealership, and here's what the 2 of them said. Let's listen.
There's many vehicles that make their way east and then to other parts of the world, whether it be the Middle East, Africa, Europe. Of course, that's speculation at this point as to whether or not these vehicles are or were destined for those locations. But again, these are things we are early in the investigation, and these are things some of our investigators will be looking at.
It's disheartening. You work hard all year, for my entire career to sell cars and to be the best you can at it. And all of a sudden, someone takes that livelihood away from you. So it's sad, to tell you the truth. We're all brokenhearted over, violation of our space.
So you're looking at an empty showroom right now as part of the B-roll we're going to show you, and the broken doors, the smashed doors, which what the suspects busted to get in. And you can see some damage in the walls there. Guys, there's the showroom. Look at that, completely empty. Friday night, $2 million worth of cars are in that beautiful looking floor. There is some damage to some of the walls inside of that place. So what they believe happened was in a panic to get out in such a hurry, they smashed into some of the walls, some of the desks there. Nonetheless, 5 cars still outstanding. And very quickly, the officer mentioned east. Most of those cars head towards the Port of Montreal, and that's where they get shipped overseas, is from there. So police will be on the lookout for those 8 cars from here east, that's for sure. So back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Steve Ryan. Appreciate the work. Also, police are appealing for information in the abduction of Elnaz Hajtamiri. 4 years to the day she was last seen alive.
Hajtamiri was 37 years old. That's when police say 3 suspects abducted her from a home in Wasaga Beach, and police believe that she was killed, but her body's never been recovered. Investigators say they've identified ties to the GTA, Timmins, Quebec, and Dubai. They're asking for help from the public in hopes of locating Hajtamiri and advancing the case. Now, Hajtamiri's ex-boyfriend, 38-year-old Mohammed Lilo, is said to go on trial for first-degree murder this spring. Several others have been arrested in her disappearance. At a bail hearing today, it began in Toronto for an Ontario man accused of laundering funds for alleged drug kingpin and former Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding.
Roland Sokolovsky is one of several Canadians accused of working with Wedding. He's seeking release from custody ahead of his extradition hearing. U.S. authorities accuse Sokolovsky of overseeing the organization's books, obtaining luxury goods for Wedding, and making a bejeweled necklace as payment for a murder. This morning, the judge banned the publication of any information that could identify his potential sureties, finding it necessary to reduce their risk of physical harm or death. All right, moving on from that, let's take a look at traffic right now. I mean that will play a part in traffic, isn't it?
Might as well.
Yeah, you know what?
How's the weather, Edge?
And the weather's actually pretty good. It's chilly, but at least the roads are dry, which makes for a better driving situation for commuters trying to make their way home from work and wherever they're headed. So if you're on the southbound 404, though, it's going to take you a bit. This is a brand new collision that is happening on the southbound 404 just as you approach Shepherd. Right lane and shoulder blocked to the collision. So this is why you're seeing all of those lights slowing down through this area. Then problems happening on the 401 westbound. This is just as you make your way in the collectors. Can't really see it, but you can see the top end of the emergency crew. It is the left lane and shoulder. That's what MTO is letting me know. And then if your travels take you on to the eastbound 401, this is the ramp that takes you to Eglinton. It is a stalled truck just being hooked up to tow. It does have the right lane blocked. Problem still with us. This is the 401 on the eastbound side, just as you make your way past the Allen. 2 right lanes blocked with a collision. It was involving a short school bus, so they're just hooking up that vehicle. And even more problems. You're not safe if you're heading into Burlington. You're running into issues. Niagara and QEW. This is through Walker's line. Heads up for a multi-vehicle collision that is blocking the right lane as well as the right shoulder. I'll send it back to you.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
Well, Daily Bread Food Bank is cutting off funding to Scarborough Feed Scarborough due to what is being called serious allegations involving the organization's CEO.
Okay, let's go to CP24's Beatrice Vaisman joining us live from the newsroom. Beatrice, this is really serious, huh?
Yeah, some very serious allegations, Bakari. There's a lot to digest as well, so we'll do our best to kind of guide our viewers through what's actually happening. But here's what you need to know. The Daily Bread Food Bank is now cutting all ties with Food Scarborough as of January 31st. So by the end of the month, they will no longer be giving food, essentially, for Feed Scarborough to distribute to community members who need it. And here's why. The Daily Bread Food Bank alleging about $150,000 of misappropriated funds by Feed Scarborough's CEO, Suman Roy, accusing him of engaging in fraud over the course of several years, essentially 2021 to 2023. And we can tell you that Toronto police are now investigating as well. Some documents that were submitted to police from sources with knowledge of the investigation. They were reviewed by CP24. They show that Feed Scarborough is one of Daily Bread's largest member agency food banks. Has received millions of dollars worth of food from the Daily Bread every year. And in addition to that food, the docs show that Feed Scarborough was given grants of $620,000 between 2021 and 2023 to be used in operations and capacity projects. Now, Daily Bread is alleging that it's gotten multiple vendor invoices from Feed Scarborough with financial irregularities, alleging that Roy reimbursed himself over $110,000 in expenses expense claims for things like gift cards and rent, with checks that he signed as payable to himself. We spoke earlier with the Daily Bread Food Bank CEO, Neil Hetherington. Here's what he says.
When the allegations happened, one of the things we did was we stopped funding Feed Scarborough right away until those allegations could be cleared up. And when they weren't cleared up, we dissolved our partnership. What we didn't do, though, was stop providing food to the residents of South Scarborough. What we did instead was we monitored food to make sure that it was going out to clients who were experiencing food insecurity. And then we set up a continuity plan. And that continuity plan is very, very clear. We will provide robust service to South Scarborough in the coming weeks, months, and years ahead.
And so Toronto Police confirming to CP24 that its financial crimes unit began investigating these allegations back in November. As for Suman Roy, he tells CP24 he's aware of the allegations against him. He says that no Daily Bread charitable funds were used for non-charitable purposes. He says that he has not been contacted by police, but actually voluntarily contacted investigators, and says that he will fully cooperate with the police probe. Here's more from Suman Roy.
Daily Bread, when they put this accusation towards us, our board had got a third-party investigator, including forensic accountants, to actually look into and have a report. The report date was supposed to be 31st January. And Daily Bread was informed of this timeline. That's why the agreement was 31st January. And they broke that, I shouldn't say broke, but they did not wait, and they leaked it out to the media ahead of time. And that was unfortunate because that report would have probably cleared everything.
And the Daily Bread Food Bank CEO refutes that timeline as well. But what he does say is that as of January 31st, Feed Scarborough will no longer be part of its network agency. But Neil Hetherington assuring community members, if you rely on the food bank in South Scarborough, your risk of getting food, you won't be at risk of not getting food or having access to it. The Daily Bread Food Bank said it's got a contingency plan in place. It's got a partnership with So-So Ministries to make sure that food access across that part of the city will continue. Back to you guys.
Okay, joining us live from the newsroom, CP24's Beatrice Vaisman. It's 5:44, holding at 0. This is Live at 5.
Well, internet and telephone networks that have been shut down in Iran since Thursday will have reaction from Toronto's Iranian community coming up. Welcome back. Members of the GTA's Iranian community are worried about their families in Iran.
CP24's Arda Zakarian has spent the day talking to them and is joining us live with reaction from Toronto's Iranian community. Arda, you were able to get some people to speak with us on camera, but others would not.
I would say the majority of people that I spoke with today said that they did not want to go on camera, not because they didn't have something to say or they didn't care about the matter, but they were just scared. They're fearful of what might happen if they do. They're scared that if they ever go back to Iran, that they may be detained, that they may be imprisoned for something that they said here in Toronto, or that their family might be in danger right now. As you know, there's no communication with Iran for the last 5 days, no telephone communication, no internet, nothing. So people haven't even been able to contact their family to see if they're doing okay. We saw so many Iranian Canadians come together over the weekend, hundreds of people at Mel Lastman Square, at Nathan Phillips Square, coming together in solidarity with the protesters in Iran, the ones that are on the streets risking their lives. We know that there have been more than 500 people killed, thousands of people detained in Iran. So the situation is very dangerous right now. Here's more from a couple of people I spoke with.
I was so anxious and stressful about the situation. And actually, we cannot do anything because we are outside of Iran, but our heart is there. And we are so worried about the family, about parents and siblings.
My mother, my father, my sister, my brother, all of my family in Iran. And we couldn't speak these days to them. We didn't know about their health in Iran.
I'm at a plaza now at Yonge and Finch. This is an Iranian plaza where I've been speaking to people all day, and many of them said the situation is really bad now, but it might get worse. There's no end in sight at the moment. Back to you.
Okay, reporting live, CP24's Artie Zakarian. It's 5:49, holding at 0. This is Live at 5.
We have an update today from Ontario's health minister on the province's efforts to connect more people with primary care providers.
Well, the Ford government says that it's making progress to connect more people with a primary care provider.
Health Minister Sylvia Jones says about 275,000 people have been attached to primary care in the first year of their $2.something billion action plan. The goal is for all Ontarians to have a primary care doctor by 2029.
And while Ontario continues to lead the country in access to care, our government has set clear goals to close the remaining gap and connect every person to primary care, beginning with clearing the Healthcare Connect waitlist as of January 1st, 2025. As of this week, that waitlist has been reduced by more than 75%, as the plan continues to hit its targets and deliver faster access to high-quality care.
They brought on a very competent and very skilled individual to try and transform our primary care system. But 1 year after announcing the Primary Care Action Plan, to great fanfare, there's nothing to show for it. They can make all of the announcements that they want, but Ontario patients, including the ones in my riding, know that they're not getting what they're paying for through their hard-earned tax dollars.
So also, we did speak to the Ontario Medical Association about the province's efforts to connect people to primary care physicians. And the president says 275,000 people are being connected to a doctor. That is significant, but more work is needed.
We have to remember in the context that Ontario grows by about 200 to 300,000 people per year. So it's really kind of more keeping our system really at the same rate rather than being a huge gain. And I think both patients and physicians need solutions that are going to move the needle, not just maintain the status quo, because we know the status quo isn't working right.
Well, last month, Ontario's Auditor General found that more than half the people waiting to be connected to a primary care physician through Healthcare Connects had been waiting for more than a year. And there was also a wide variation in wait times on the system.
It's 5:54, holding at 0. This is Live at 5.
When we come back, we'll have a reaction to Canadian Milos Raonic announcing his retirement from professional tennis.
The Leafs are going to try to add to their winning streak tonight. This is when they take on the league-leading Colorado Avalanche.
That'll be a big test. Toronto coming off a dominant performance against the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday. The Leafs beat Vancouver 5-0 for their third straight victory. They'll have their work cut out for them as they're on the road, taking on the Avalanche. They have yet to lose a game in regulation on home ice this season. Puck drop, 10 o'clock. And the Raptors will be looking for their second straight win over the 76ers in as many nights.
And see, he intentionally missed the shot. Darko, that's why Scotty was looking back.
Scotty Barnes hit a tie-breaking free throw with less than a second left in OT last night, leading the Raptors to a narrow 116-115 win. The Raps were able to pull it off without R.J. Barrett and Brandon Ingram, who were sidelined for injuries. The rematch goes tonight at 7:30. But also today, reaction continues to pour, and this is following the news of Canadian tennis star Milos Raonic's retirement.
Yeah, the Thornhill native, who has not competed since mid-2024, made the announcement last night in an emotional social media post. He wrote, quote, "This is a moment you know will come one day, but somehow you never feel ready for it." 35-year-old had an impressive career, winning 8 ATP Tour titles. Mike McIntyre, host of Matchpoint Canada's podcast, spoke to CP24 about his career.
Two things that kind of held him back from achieving more. One was the fact that he played during the era of Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, who pretty much denied everybody winning major titles. So that was one big hurdle. And then the other was, as you mentioned, Nick, the injuries, from his wrist to his back to his knees to his ankles. You could list almost every body part, and at some point it's kept him on the shelf. So that was probably the biggest thing that held him back from achieving more, unfortunately.
In 2016, Raonic beat Roger Federer in the Wimbledon semifinal to become the first Canadian man to reach a Grand Slam final.
It's 5:59, feels like -6. You're watching Charles Breaking News, CP24.
Thank you for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.